So major spoiler warning for Halloween Ends. If you don't want it spoiled for you at all, click out this video right now. So Halloween Ends came out just a few days ago, and my goodness, is this movie just an absolute train wreck. Now, I know Halloween movies don't have the best track record when it comes to some movies, but at the same time, generally most Halloween movies are a lot of fun. And again, I know that there's some absolute clunkers in the mix like Halloween Resurrection, but there's also a few good ones like Halloween 2018, the original Halloween, and Halloween 2, and the list can go on. But for them promoting that Halloween Ends is going to be pretty much the true final ending between Laurie and Michael, and that this whole movie was going to just be pretty much a knockout, drag out fight between Laurie and Michael various times throughout the movie. We definitely did not get that. All the promotional material we see on commercials, on YouTube, on Twitter, wherever you may look at stuff for movies, is all false advertisement to an extent. Everything you hear in clips, segments of the movie, anything like that is all from the final 20 minutes of the movie, roughly speaking. The first hour and 20 minutes of this movie is about Laurie's granddaughter Allison befriending some down on his luck guy, Corey. It's just pretty much Corey becoming Michael Myers, but not really. We were truly bamboozled, people. We truly were. And I know Laurie has the whole speech about how evil could be born and how it could be created. So I think we're supposed to infer that Corey is created because he does end up being evil and Michael is more born evil, I guess, or you can interpret it either way. But just for some exposition to be thrown in at the end about why Corey's doing the things that he's doing is just kind of lame, because honestly, we're there for Michael Myers, not Corey. Wow, what a direction this movie took. At first, I was like, okay, when they started with Corey and how he was babysitting that kid and he kicked him off the, I don't know, third story or second story of that house. I was like, okay, that's messed up. That's one way to start the movie. And then it rolls into more of like him, down on his luck. He gets bullied by high school kids, even though he's like, roughly 24, roughly, or right around that age, 25, something like that. When the events of Halloween Ends goes down, he's getting bullied by 17, 18-year-old band kids out of all kids. Again, I know movies try to, maybe buck stereotypes here and there, but really, band kids are going to be the ones that bully a 25-year-old man? Just thought that was odd. Then Laurie befriends him, then him and Allison kind of get together, and my goodness, all the scenes with Allison and Corey are so cringy. It's almost like look away bad. It really is. And I didn't think the actress who played Allison did a horrible job in the first two Halloween movies, but this one, oof, my goodness, she was not the best at all. It was pretty bad. And the Corey guy, I guess he was fine, but any scene with Allison was just incredibly cringy for sure. So that storyline aside, it was pretty stupid. It took up pretty much an hour and a half of the movie, but whatever. The real meat and potatoes of this is Laurie and Michael, right? Well, Laurie pretty much is back in society. She's kind of, trying to be more normal. She's living in a neighborhood again. She's not as crazed and panicked all the time. She's writing her memoirs of facing Michael, over the 40 years, yada yada. But then where's Michael Myers, right? You're like, I wonder what that dude's up to. We haven't heard from him in, I think, 4 years at this point, right? Well, turns out he's just living in a sewer. Yep, that's it. He's just living in a sewer, wandering around the sewer like he's a trap zombie or something. Makes no sense at all. Even in one of the older Halloweens, I forget if it's Halloween 4, 5, or 6, one of those. I guess I should have said this from the beginning. I'm a Halloween fan. I'm not a hardcore fan. I enjoy the movies, but I don't dig too deep into them. So I forget exactly which Halloween movie this was, but at the end of one of them, he gets shot a bunch of times and then they think he's dead. But then the following movie, it picks up him like crawling himself into the river. He floats down a little bit, and then a homeless guy kind of takes care of him until Michael like rebuilds his strength, and then he goes back to try to kill Laurie or her daughter or whatever it was at the time, right? Okay, makes sense. Like he needed to kind of regenerate, his Michael Myers powers. Makes sense, I guess, to an extent. Good enough. This one, he's just chilling. He's not regenerating his powers, not really anything, right? And then he meets Corey because Corey gets picked on and thrown off a bridge by those high school band bullies. And then Michael Myers drags him into the sewer for some reason. Don't know why. And then Corey's wandering around. Michael grabs him by the throat throat, they lock eyes, then all of a sudden they kind of become friends. What? I mean, seriously, this just makes no sense. I mean, Michael Myers doesn't let anyone live. Not really. And for him to let this kid live makes no sense. And then later on to kill with Corey, right? Because Corey's thinking he's Michael or whatever at this point. And then a little bit later in the movie, Corey comes back and just bullies Michael and takes his mask. Pretty much kicks Michael in the shin. He falls down and he takes his mask and runs away. What? Michael Myers does not get bullied around like that by some no one, let alone get his mask taken by some guy. I mean, come on. How lame is that? I mean, how weak and old and decrepit do they make Michael in this movie? I know he's hurt or whatever and old, but still, how frustrating is this movie? Again, I'm just a Halloween fan, not a hardcore fan, and my goodness, I feel so bad for all the hardcore fans out there. I really do, because this movie is not good from like head to toe. It is not good. The only thing I will give this movie is the gore and the special effects and stuff look really good. I thought that part was very solid and a lot of fun, but the story and acting, not the best. So after that Corey guy takes Michael's mask, he goes around killing some more people, which is kind of frustrating because he's acting like Michael, even though he's not Michael. Not cool, right? It's just real frustrating. He goes around killing a bunch of people. Everyone that's kind of picked on him throughout the movie, he goes and kills pretty much, right? The one thing that I thought they could have done that would have been really funny is the radio DJ guy when he comes out and is yelling at Allison and Corey, and then later on, Corey goes back and he kills them. Wouldn't have that been an opportune time to have Busta Rhymes show back up, right? And he'd be the radio DJ guy. That would have been hilarious. But I get why they didn't do it, but at the same time, I think that would have been pretty funny. So Corey kills a bunch of people, and then he finally goes to Laurie's house. He's like, okay, I'm gonna kill Laurie. And the movie kind of plays it up that Laurie was going to end it all. She calls the police, blah, blah, blah. So then Corey shows up there, and of course, Laurie puts like 3 or 4 in his chest. Eventually, he ends up downstairs. I forget, does he fall off the second story of the house, mirroring like how the kid did at the opening of the movie? I don't know. I can't remember already. It doesn't matter. He ends up on the first floor. Corey ends up putting a knife through his own neck, and then he takes the mask off, or Laurie does. It doesn't matter, right? So then the mask is laying there. Corey's dead, and then all of a sudden, Laurie's, like, oh my God, what happened? The granddaughter walks in, and she's all mad. She runs away. All of a sudden, you see the side doors open, and then Michael Myers appears. It's like, okay, finally, we're going to get the final fight. Bare minimum, this was an hour and 30 minutes into the movie, right? When this is going down right now. Like, okay, Michael and Laurie are finally going to have it out. They finally start fighting, and it is probably one of the most tame and lame fights we've seen in a Halloween movie. It really is. It doesn't leave the kitchen area. Laurie gets beat up a little bit, but then she beats up Michael, puts a knife through his hand. He gets stuck on the island, puts one through the other hand, drops the fridge on his leg, and then did she do something else? I forget. Eventually slices his throat, slices his wrist, and that's pretty much it. Oh, I think Laurie takes a knitting needle through the ear. That was interesting, I guess, to an extent. And that's pretty much it. Laurie takes off his mask, and that's it. He's dead, apparently. Also, yeah, let's not forget, Laurie and Allison strap Michael's dead body on top of the car like a dead deer and drive him to the junkyard with the rest of the town just like clapping along the way like, woo, you did it. And then eventually they take his dead body and then they throw him into the trash compactor, and that's it. Halloween ends right there. Laurie did it. And then it picks back up. Allison leaves town. She's going to go find a different future. Laurie is starting to finish her memoirs. She hangs out with Frank, the old sheriff guy. And that's it. Black screen. Boom. Done. I guess that's one way to kill Michael Myers. I mean, was I mad that they definitively, I guess, killed him, threw him in the trash compactor? No. But all the stuff that led up to that? Wow. Pretty lame. Not gonna lie. I see why it has a 5.0 out of 10 on IMDb. It is not a good movie. It's probably one of the worst Halloween movies. And again, there are some absolute clunkers when it comes to Halloween movies, but this one is just pretty bad, especially when you know that more than likely this is the last time Jamie Lee Curtis is going to be Laurie. And this is it, really? Like, this is what they do? The whole reason they made Halloween 2018 and Halloween Kills is to kind of rectify and retcon all the mistakes that they made throughout all the other movies and how they did kill Laurie in Halloween Resurrection. I believe that's what that one's called, with no real substance or storyline. I'm glad she lived, but to bring it all back for just this, how it ends, I mean, ugh. I definitely think if you watch the original Halloween and Halloween 2018, that's the best way to enjoy this. Halloween Kills, I definitely didn't think it was that good, but Halloween Ends makes Halloween Kills look like an absolute masterpiece. It really does, because at least Michael Myers is Michael Myers and he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. And again, I didn't care for the town ganging up on him and all that stuff. I didn't care for that aspect of the movie, but we got some awesome Michael Myers moments, didn't we, in that movie? That part was a lot of fun. For this movie just to be a complete bait and switch and practically false advertising, man, how disappointing for the last Laurie Strode movie, right? It was just not good at all. And it's sad that it ended this way, because I thought Halloween 2018 was a very strong movie, especially for a horror slasher movie. I thought it was a great reprisal of all the characters and them having new characters come around. I thought that was a very solid movie. And again, Kills was meh, right? It had its issues, but it also had a lot of fun moments of like all of the Michael Myers killing. That was great, right? This movie pretty much had nothing of value, really. It didn't. Yeah, Michael dies, Laurie lives, but it took an hour and 20 minutes to an hour and a half to get to that point. And even when it did happen, it was pretty lame. I'm not gonna lie. But I know I usually don't talk about horror movies on my channel or Halloween movies, but I watched this movie the other night and I just had to make a video about it because it's just so bad. And again, I'm a Halloween fan, not a Halloween super fan. So I really do feel bad for all the people out there that are true diehard fans of Michael Myers and the Halloween saga, because no one goes into a Halloween movie wanting to not watch Michael Myers just take care of business and just wreak havoc on Haddonfield. That in of itself is the basis of a Halloween movie. And we technically didn't really get that in this movie. And yes, I know he does kill people and even kills some people with Corey. Generally speaking, he was barely in this movie and he was so weak, decrepit, and not really the character that we know and love throughout this whole movie. It just takes you out of it almost instantly. I think I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 10. I would not recommend this movie to really anyone, especially if you're a diehard Halloween fan. I am sorry, I truly am. I'm sure a lot of people that are diehard fans of Halloween feel like this is their version of The Last Jedi, because as a fan, that is so frustrating, believe me, I know. So it'll be interesting to see where the Halloween franchise goes from here. It truly will. I don't think Jamie Lee Curtis is ever going to come back. I do think she is officially done. So it'll be interesting to see 5, 10, 15 years from now when they do want to resurrect this franchise, what they will do to do that. So with all that said, let me know your thoughts down below on this movie. I am truly curious to see what people feel about this movie. And while you're down there, if you can like the video and subscribe to the channel, that'd be greatly appreciated. Until next time, guys, everyone have a great day. Thanks for watching.